אגורות ו8 עשיריות האגורה. האירו נסחר ב4 שקלים, 22 אגורות ו7 עשיריות האגורה. צעיר מתל שבע חשוד בתקיפת אוטובוס של חברת מטרופולין ביישוב בשבוע שעבר. כתבנו אסף פוזיילוב מוסר כי על פי עדות הנהג, החשוד בן 18 ורעולי פנים אחרים, התנפלו על האוטובוס, שברו חלונות והצליחו להימלט ללא פגע. החשוד יובא היום להארכת מעצר. המשטרה מחפשת אחר התוקפים האחרים. ארצות הברית וקוריאה הדרומית הסכימו לדחות למועד לא ידוע תרגיל צבאי משותף שהיה אמור להתקיים בחודש אוגוסט. כך הודיע משרד ההגנה בסאול. בהודעה נאמר כי עדיין לא התקבלה החלטה בעניין התרגילים המשותפים האחרים, וכי יימשכו ההתייעצויות בין שתי המדינות. בכיר אמריקני אמר כי ההחלטה להשעות את התרגיל התקבלה בעקבות הודעתו של הנשיא טראמפ על כוונתו להפסיק את התמרונים המשותפים עם סאול לאחר פגישת הפסגה עם קים ג'ונג און בשבוע שעבר. הפנטגון אמור לפרסם הודעה רשמית על דחיית התרגיל בימים הקרובים. בשנה שעברה השתתפו בתרגיל הזה יותר מ-17,000 חיילים אמריקנים ויותר מ-50,000 חיילים מקוריאה הדרומית. עורכי החדשות הבוקר, דן ביילסקי ואלון ולן. תחזית מזג האוויר מיד.
התחזית בחסות מהאנשים שהביאו לכם מקררים בטכנולוגיית טווין קולינג. מגיע הלהיט של הקיץ. מזגני סמסונג עכשיו בחנויות חשמל מובחרות.
התחזית היום עלייה קלה במידות החום. מחר וביום חמישי בלי שינוי. ביום שישי הטמפרטורות יהיו מעט גבוהות מהרגיל בעונה. מידות החום החזויות בירושלים מ-30 מעלות ביום עד 21 מעלות בלילה. בתל אביב מ-29 עד 23, בחיפה מ-28 עד 21, בצפת מ-28 עד 17, באשדוד מ-28 עד 24, בבאר שבע מ-35 עד 21, ובאילת מ-38 מעלות ביום עד 27 מעלות בלילה. עד כאן החדשות. כאן רשת ב'.
אתם מאזינים לרדיו כל אדומים, 106 FM.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Women Radio on 106 FM, called Adumim from Maaleh Adumim. Spotlight on Women Radio, Radio B'Maaleh Isha, is here to bring new and inspiring music to women around the world. My name is Annie Orenstein, co-founder and producer of Spotlight on Women B'Maaleh Isha. And for the next hour, hang out with me as we hear and get to know amazing women with inspiring messages. Music by women for women. This show is sponsored by Kan Tagid HaShidor HaTziburi, the Matnas in the city of Maaleh Adumim. Listen to us right here on koladumim.com or live on Facebook. Welcome to our Facebook watcher listeners. Since we launched the show in November of last year, I've had the privilege to meet a ton of new artists that have wonderful and inspiring music to share with women around the world. And today, I would like to play for you a song from a new album by Chaya Kogan. The new album is called The Power Is You, and her song is Hakol Mimcha. Enjoy. Welcome back. That was Chaya Kogan's new song Hakol Mimcha from her new album The Power Is You. She just sent me her whole album and I haven't gotten a chance to listen to all the songs, and I'm really excited to play more of her music on the show. And so welcome back to all our listeners, and thank you for tuning in right here on Tuesdays between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. You can listen to previous shows on SoundCloud.com by searching for Spotlight on Women Radio. And we will be having 2 more shows after this one before we take a break for the summer, where I'm heading off to the States to visit my family. And next week is Miriam Leah Gamliel, the co-founder of Atara, who will share with us her journey. Now, with me in the studio is singer-songwriter, educator, and certified healthcare artist Rahel Limor. Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
Say hi.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I just had the pleasure to meet you last Thursday night in my home when we had the open house from the Matnas and the city organized 70 open homes. And we had a little jam with the ladies. And now you're here with me in the studio. It's really great. Your songs and compositions are described as uplifting, intelligent, well-crafted, and musically sophisticated. And I had the pleasure to hear a bit of it. Rahel has won awards for her songwriting and her contributions to Jewish life in New Hampshire, where she lived recently, and was a juried artist on the New Hampshire Council on the Arts. She's certified in many fields related to music, the arts, healthcare, and education. She's been performing here and around the world since 1976 and is a founding member who continues to perform with the first women's band, Tofa'ah, since 1980?
81.
Wow. Wow. So you brought women to the stage. You were the first one, right?
We were the first ones in Israel.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're the grannies.
Amazing. So how about we jump right into a song of yours, a little taste of a song of yours before we get to know you more.
Sure. And before I do that, I just want to say, Annie, what you're doing is incredible as well.
Thank you.
And it's great that you're doing all this, bringing women to the forefront. We did it back in 1981, and you're still doing it. It's great.
Thank you so much.
This is called Lachash al Hayam, Whisper by the Sea. ציפורים נודדות על החוף ואתה עומד וגלים גלים של הים אתה בודד אתה חושב מחשבות של היום רוצה לברוח עם שלוותו של הים עד עולם נושאת לגישה שאתה לא שומע כאן בים פרצופים של הים אתה הולך והים עם סודות עלומים לעולם כאן נשאר
Rahel Limor. Wow, thank you so much. That's
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
What a beautiful song. I enjoyed hearing that when you came over the other night. And you can tell us about that. Just intro that song, where it came from, where you found it.
That's an interesting story, actually. As a songwriter, sometimes you just, people think you write songs, but actually you kind of receive songs many times. And this was one of those that I received, I would like to say. I received it, when was it written? Let me see. Long time, 1981, back then.
Wow.
And I hardly knew Hebrew at the time. And it came to me complete as a full song in Hebrew only. And I took it to a translator. I said, "Can you fix this up? Is this right? What is this?" And she said, it's pretty much there. You don't really, which goes to prove that, I didn't write this. I really received this.
It's beautiful.
And,
I wish I could receive music.
I know. It's a beautiful song, and I didn't really understand it. I just wrote it down and played it, and I've been playing it ever since, and it's one of my kind of signature songs. People really love it, and it took me about 20 years. I thought, I better get an English translation, but, with Hebrew, now that I know Hebrew, it's multi-level, it's multi-dimensional, and so it was very hard to come up with a translation that I felt was properly representing the song, but I finally did, and today I also sing it in English. But that's sort of about this song. You go to the sea, you imagine the sea as a mystical place, almost godlike in a way, part of God's world, and you hope to be inspired. And in this song, it's questionable whether that happened or not.
Wow. Well, I have so many questions for you, Rahel. First of all, we're going to start with your personal journey. Where are you from? When did you start playing? I'm going to ask you a few questions and just jump right into it. How many instruments did you study? Do you play?
Okay, I grew up in Lexington, Massachusetts, which is considered the birthplace of America, where, don't fire till you see the white of their eyes or something like that. Paul Revere rode through. It was the revolution, the American Revolution against the British and all that. Anyway, that's another story. I grew up there with a historical kind of outlook, I guess.
Right.
But I started playing music with my mother. She taught me piano, which I could never really get the hang of the two hands, but she sent me to music school where I learned recorder and solfege, and eventually in the 5th grade I took up the flute. None of them really sat with me until my brother was sent to guitar lessons. He said, "I don't want to do that," and I said, "Can I go?" And I started learning guitar at age 14, and here it is. That's what stuck. And, I do dabble in some folk instruments, some banjo and some mandolin, some dulcimer, spoons.
The spoons? Are you going to play for us the spoons?
Yeah, I'm playing
I
spoons.
love that.
Yeah.
And so I understand that. So you don't claim to fame that you write this music, but you have many songs. So how many songs have you written or collected over the years?
Collected, I like that.
Is that the way? I think that I heard that from you, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. Some people call it song catching.
Catching.
That the songs are out there. American Indian poets. So the stuff is out there. You just have to catch it and bring it in and put it out to the world. I have probably at this point close to 200. I've got a number of them recorded, but maybe a tenth of them recorded. Many of them that I sing when I perform just randomly, and some that are just sitting there and they wait for a certain musician or a certain circumstance, or maybe when I understand the song finally,
right.
To be brought forth. For example, just recently, my most recent album was with a woman I was playing with in America named Sue Hurwitz. She's a flute player, and we did all the instrumental songs that I have that had been sitting since the 80s and never went anywhere. Maybe one or two of them got played by Tofa'ah. But they were waiting for Sue to show up with her flute, and she did wonders with these songs. And you just sort of have to wait, I guess, till they happen. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. But excuse me, another one, Before Mountains, that I did recently with an African vocal group, which we'll talk about. And the arrangement was waiting all of these years for them to do the arrangement that I had been hearing in my head for years. And
wow.
You never know. This is the weird world of music.
And you've been playing for many years, so you've been around the world. Tell me about the genre of music that you play as well. I mean, can you define the genre? Can you give it a...
This is the world that we live in, where everything wants a label. And I thought that I considered myself a folk singer, basic folk singer. My studio engineer told me, I said, how come, I bring my songs out and I think it's folk music and it doesn't fit in the folk world. What's going on here? It doesn't fit in the jazz world, doesn't fit in the blues world. Where is my song? Where are my songs? How do I categorize myself? And he said, you're just Rahel. That's it. You just have your own category. So I sort of, if you're looking for a category, I put it in Singer-Songwriter, which seems to be a catch-all category for, it's a person.
Right.
Who expresses themselves as whatever comes out, and so that's what you get.
Amazing. So let's do another one. We have coming up the Ashrei and Tefillah, right?
Okay.
Is that from Tofa'ah? Are those songs that you sang with Tofa'ah?
Yes, actually.
Okay, so tell me a bit about Tofa'ah. Tell our listeners, me as included.
Yes.
But all our listeners about Tofa'ah and how that got started, how you got involved with that, and then we'll play.
Tofa'ah, my dad always said, I think you found your niche. I joined Tofa'ah in 1980. At the end of 1980, we call it 1981. Yona Yakubovitz, the most amazing person. She's a strong woman and an observant woman, Orthodox. She is a drummer, percussionist, composer, and she was approached by Avraham Rosenblum's wife, Gracie. Avraham Rosenblum is one of the founders of the Diaspora Yeshiva Band, way back then, really the granddaddies of Jewish rock. And I think it was she was producing a concert. I think it was a fundraiser for somebody. And Yona thought, I can't just do this by myself. She went out looking for other musicians. She was studying at Machon Bruria at the time in Kiryat Moshe. And there were many talented women. She put together these women and also posted a sign. I wish I had it here to show you, looking for female musicians for an all-women band. And my mother saw it. She said, here, you're looking for something to do. I had just sort of been in between groups. And I went and auditioned with Yona. We hit it off like immediately. And I became part of the band. In 1981, we did the first concert, Gracie's concert for all women, and Yona saw that there was a need for this, for women's music, because at the time, in 1981, there was no such thing for Orthodox women, for observant women, to do women only and to express their voice. And the band was Orthodox observant, following Halakha, Kol Isha. And so we put together more concerts, put together the band of all women. We started doing concerts of Jewish music, standards, Jewish standards. And then I brought in a song. I said, can we play it? And we started doing original music. And it just grew from there. And it really provided an outlet for observant women, and not just, also secular women. We did women's only concerts. We came in with our rock equipment. We had electric guitars and, the big drum set. And the band grew to be many, many people, 14 in the end, I think, that, by the end of it. But we were 5, and then we grew into 7, which was solidified by some of the people, even here in Maaleh Adumim. And we did wonderful, wonderful concerts. We did wonderful things. We had a major impact on women of the time, where there was no expression. And people would, women would come, they'd find their voice, they do cartwheels in the audience. They were doing crazy things that they wouldn't really normally feel comfortable with doing. Today, nobody cares, but back then, it was people were more modest and more self-conscious, and it provided this outlet and also inspired the first school for women in the arts in the observant world in Jerusalem. And now you wouldn't know it because those things exist, but they didn't exist back then, and it was very, very influential. The band, what we did then.
That's amazing.
Finding our voice, finding our identity, finding our spirituality as women. How do we express ourselves? Who are we as women? What's our voice? What do we have to say? It encompassed everything.
Wow.
Even though those of us who came from the world of feminism, this was a whole different ballgame.
It's amazing. And now it's, thank God, it took a long time, I guess. We had to be very patient, just like we're waiting for the geula, right? The ultimate geula. But it's here. I think that women are really pushing out their voices now, and they found opportunities. And I'm so blessed to be part of that journey and to finally met you.
It's
and
like
to merge
you're like a person of my past.
Yeah.
You're there and you're here in the present, and
amazing.
You're doing this amazing thing well, and having that kind of impact and influence. Still, it's still here. It's heartwarming.
So let's jump in and play Ashrei, and then hopefully afterwards you'll.
Ashrei is, from the bedtime Shema, and a psalm, and I chose that one because you'll hear also the women, the band, some instrumentation, and also children, because one of the members was working with the children's choir then, and so it's all encompassing. I think it well represents what we did as Tofa'ah.
Wonderful. So here is Ashrei. That was Ashrei from the band Tofa'ah. You're listening to Spotlight on Women Radio. Welcome back. I am here in the studio with Rahel Limor. Welcome again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So tell me you told us about how Tofa'ah got started, and you described Ashrei with the choir. It's beautiful. Tell me about another song, Tefillah.
We're going to hear Tefillah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Tefillah is very much instrumental, but with a few verses in there, sung by Leah. And I just want to say that, when people came who didn't know Hebrew and who came to in Hebrew. It was a transformative experience, and I witnessed just Hebrew as a magical language, that transforms people it moves them from one level, spiritual level, to another spiritual level, and it's very exciting. So this song, Tefillah, again, it's sung in Hebrew, and the person who I asked to, check the Hebrew, she said, it's a bit controversial. I don't know if you can say that exactly, and I'll tell you why. The words are Tefillah, Milat Hashem, Tefillati, Milat Hashem. And the next verse is Isha Mitzvat Hashem. Kvoda Kedusha Isha Mitzvat Hashem. And it was, do you say a woman is a mitzvah? Mm-hmm. So in the end, we decided, okay, that works. And that was part of the whole magical part of being part of Tofa'ah, is that we really looked into every word. We looked into the music, the pitch. Does it match? Does it work? Does it fairly represent these really important holy words? So that's the lyric here. And I just want to say that, prayer, the Word of God is women that we should praise and honor and respect, Eshet Chayil. So that's basically what Tefillah is about. It's got a bit of an Irish feel to it, but so they say.
Okay, so let's hear it. Tefillah b'Tofa'ah.
אתם מאזינים לרדיו קול אדומים, 106 FM.
Welcome back to all our listeners to Spotlight of Women Radio. My name is Annie Orenstein, the host. It is June 19th, and the time is 11:37. Welcome back. You're listening to Spotlight of Women Radio, sponsored by Kan Tagid HaShidor HaTziburi in the city of Maaleh Adumim. I am here in the studio with Rahel Limor. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we just heard Tefillah by Tofa'ah.
Right.
Who was in that? Who played in that as well?
The singer was Leah. She's in Australia currently. The violin was played by Rahel. I don't know her new name. Kantrovitz, yeah.
Right?
They were both Cohens back then.
Right.
And her sister Devorah played the flute, and they wrote their parts and played them beautifully.
And just a small plug, you mentioned to me that one of the open houses coming up, right? Is by Devorah Belinki's house.
Right.
Okay.
On Hakinor Street, and she asked me to accompany her on some of her songs as well, so I'll be there with her.
She was one of the first ladies that I interviewed here in the studio.
Oh,
I started very
amazing,
close to home with the musicians and with musicians from Maaleh Adumim.
I'm sure she talked about Tofa'ah. We were some of the founding members, so yeah, she's wonderful.
So I want to hear about your music as therapy. I mean, it says, I learned about you that you're a certified clinical musician, healthcare artist. What is that like?
Well, I was inspired to do that. It's a funny story, because when I perform, people start yawning and getting tired. And I thought, I'm not a good entertainer, but what I came to understand was that actually my music is relaxing, and they weren't bored or anything. They were just starting to relax and feel good, and had a time out from their stress-free world. So I had a body of work called Tikkun. It came to me in 1995 after I was going through a personal life crisis, and the songs, there were 27 songs that came to me from the Tikkun HaKlali of Rabbi Nachman, those particular 10 psalms. And I shelved it. And then around 2003, I had, changed my life, gone through my transformation. At the time in 1995, those songs helped me get through a crisis. And in 2003, they were going, hey, hello, remember us? And I went, what were those songs? And I pulled them out on an old cassette and started playing them. And that led me to thinking that I wanted to do something different with the music. And I had attended a lecture about therapeutic music, which is different than music therapy. Music therapy is highly interactive. You use instruments to help improve physical movement and mental activity, whereas therapeutic music is the other side of things, where you use your music as an energetic tool, so to speak, as an energy that creates an environment so that the person can do their own healing. You don't actually interact physically, you don't try to make them do anything. And there's different levels of understanding therapeutic music and how we use our instrument, how we use our voice, what energy is coming out of whatever instrument you're using that then affects the person. And the healing that happens is up to them. And we don't always know. I'm going to kind of resort to my notes here, because I think, it's hard to describe.
You explained at the open house that when you went to a hospice, that people would just see the guitar and they'd come to you. They'd want to hear.
Not in the hospice, but in the elderly homes, senior homes, and there's a magic in this world, in the world of therapeutic music. First of all, I just want to stress that whoever goes into it needs to be trained. You need to get theory of it. You need to understand the practice of it and how to do it, because I've seen many musicians just come in and say, hey, we're going to play some music. And it's not always the right thing for somebody who's ill, somebody who's suffering, somebody who's dying. It's not always the right thing. They don't always need the music, or sometimes the music can actually harm a person who maybe has a head injury or whatever. You don't really know what's going on. So it's very important to be trained. Once you do that, you know you become a master of your instrument, and then you need to become a master of your intuition.
Right.
Because it's a very much an intuitive field. So we go into what I do in a hospice, I would go into a room and I would ask permission. I would introduce myself. I'm Rahel. I'm a therapeutic musician. Would you like to hear some music? If they agree, then you sit next to the bedside, and they may just, a person who's on living their last days is in a different state of mind, a different state of physical being, and you do what you kind of assess quickly the situation, and you do what you feel is right. You will never know necessarily if it's right, but you're hoping and praying, and I usually say the Shema or something before I go into such a situation and ask for help from Hashem, to make sure that I'm going to be doing the right thing for that person. If you go into a senior home, it's very different. You're working with people who have lost their memories or are physically disabled, in the different abilities, mentally and physically. As you said, when I walk into a unit of people who are memory care, Alzheimer's, different levels of dementia, I just walk in, they see this guitar, and a smile just comes on their face. And are you going to play us music? And the happiness and joy that the music brings, it's a whole other world. It's just
the anticipation is very comforting.
Right.
The anticipation to hear something good. It's almost like when, it's a funny analogy. It's not really related, but my babies, when they would want a nurse, there's an anticipation, and they knew that they were going to get, I would talk to them and say, okay, sweetheart, I'm going to feed you now. And there it went. And there, the anticipation, they smiled and they would be quiet for a minute to anticipate. And that calmed them. It calmed them right away, even before they got to eat. So it was like, the music is is the nourishment for the soul, right? And
exactly, well said.
They're seeking it out. They're comforted even before you start strumming.
It's
just by sitting here watching the guitar. I'm comforted.
It's a transformational experience. It transforms them. It transcends anything else. The music has an energy and a power and a language that, is more powerful than most things. And they say it's the closest rung to God, I guess. But
amazing. And tell me, obviously we talk about music, and that frustrates artists when we want to hear the music, right? So you have another song that I was going to play that you sent me, but I would want to hear you play it, called New Moon.
New Moon, yeah. In relation to women, I'll read the poem that accompanies it, but then when I play it, I'm going to be sort of improvising on it, the way I might do when I go into a room in a one-on-one situation, and whatever the situation might be. Might be one of the songs that I might play for someone instrumentally.
Wonderful.
So the poem, in relation to women, it goes like this. Isha yareach. Im kol yareach ba'a isha chadasha. Hechayim hem hamachzuriyot shehi noset bekirba. Isha, at chogeget et britech im Hashem. את יחידה ומיוחדת כמו שהירח הוא אור באפלה. את שופעת חיים חדשים של חודשים יבואו. לבנה, את חוגגת אישה. In English, woman, moon. With each new moon comes a new woman. Life is a cycle she carries within her. Woman. Celebrate your covenant with God. You are unique and full as the moon is light in the darkness. Flow with new life of coming months. Moon. Celebrate woman.
Beautiful.
Let's see if I can write.
Just wanted to remind everyone that this is Kol Isha.
something like that. A little out of practice, but yeah.
No, that's beautiful.
Something like
I
that.
appreciate that you're doing this live because that's a true artist, you know. Why do you have the guitar in your lap, you know? Why do I have to play that? If you could, and it's very meaningful
Thank you.
to flow and to l'alter and just to hear it, because I feel like it's so soulful to see somebody play out of the stream of consciousness, you know, out of that what's meant to come out is meant to come out, and that's really beautiful. It really touches me, it inspires me, and it's amazing. Tell me, Rahel Limor, thank you for being on the show. Tell me, what is the Healing Project?
The Healing Light Project.
The Healing Light Project,
This is
excuse me.
my most recent endeavor. It started out when somebody contacted me through Facebook, and he was a musician, and he said he was looking for other musicians to collaborate with. This person happened to be from South Africa. And, you know, on Facebook, you're not sure. You invite a lot of people to be your friend, or you accept friendships from other people who are asking them, but you don't know who they are. And so I got this letter, and I said, who the heck is this? Where did this come from, you know? Anyway, following up on it, it turned out that, make a long story short, he's the artistic director of a cappella group that originates from Zimbabwe but are living in South Africa right now in Johannesburg. He was reaching out to many musicians to do collaborative work musically, and most musicians, you know, said, well, we're busy, we're too busy, or we wish you luck, it's not our thing. Me, being the curious type, I said, what is this? Okay, tell me more. We talked for about a year over on the internet and, you know, WhatsApp, and we got to know each other through video chats and whatever. We talked about how what our music was and what our goals were. We talked about, I said I was working on this project Tikkun, trying to find a place for it, healing, you know, something with healing. And he said he's working, you know, they're South Africans, they live in Africa. They want to show the world that Africa is a good place. They want to break stereotypes. They want to bring peace to the world and not say, you know, we're not starving and we live in poverty or whatever, not bring that side of Africa. We want to show the good side of Africa. And I, being a Jewish woman, of course,
Right.
and being Israeli, have been working for years trying to show the good side of Israel and Judaism
definitely.
and bring that to the forefront and let people know that we're okay. We're really okay. And so we connected on many levels, musically, in our goals and our dreams. And this man, Future Moyo, he's very inspirational. He's a great leader. He's much like Yonah. And we connected. We figured out how we're going to get together. In the end, we decided that I should go to Africa, and we'll try and put this out there and make it work. I brought my son to document everything. We spent 10 days in Africa. We had quite mighty goals.
Wow.
We wanted to do concerts, performances, house concerts. We wanted to record songs. We wanted to go into schools and do workshops. And all of it happened in 10 days. It was amazing. It was like a
That's
miracle.
incredible.
And we went into schools where I taught them Simi Yadech, the kids, and they learned some Israeli songs and dances. And the group learned to sing a little bit in Hebrew, and I learned a little bit in Zulu, 2 words, Ubuntu, which means togetherness, coming together, and Siyabonga, which means thank you. And I got to take it from there. I have a lot more to learn. After we finished 10 days, we said, we're going to call this the Healing Light Project. We're going to try and make this happen all over the world. And, being a Jew, I said, okay, next year in Jerusalem, because that's what we always say, right?
Right.
Well, I tried for a year to make connections and with people, and nothing was coming about. I came here for my daughter's wedding in March and to be a Toshevet Chozeret, making my return to Israel after too many years in America. And all of a sudden, everything happened. We got invited for gigs. One led to the next, and we had a 2-week tour just recently last month in May, and it was incredible. 4 of the 10 members came from Africa, and, it's costly and visa issues and whatever, but 4 of them came. We had 2 incredible weeks of performances. We had 8 performances. and workshops. We were in two
Where
schools.
did you perform? In Tel Aviv, right?
We were in Jerusalem, Maaleh Adumim.
Right.
We were in Tel Aviv. We were up north in Yishuv Rakefet. We were in Jaffa, I don't know if it's Jaffa, Tel Aviv, in the Florentines, in the Dror Yanuf School for elementary kids, which was amazing. The principal said, what they've been trying to do, bring out pride of their own heritage and everything. They were not successful in doing it, and we just did by showing up. To show that there was pride. They're proud Africans. They're proud of Africa. They love their country, Africa. We love Israel. We love our country, Israel. When I go there, I told them, how much I love Israel, how much I love Judaism. And this is part of the goal, is to share our cultures, our language, our food, our traditions, our rituals, and to learn from each other and maybe learn the language, learn a dance, learn a song, and come together that way. And in this way, we call this building friendships, unique friendships, lasting friendships, that in our own way we feel are the first little steps towards peacemaking. So we're not looking to make peace, so to speak. We're looking to build friendships, and in that way we come to a peaceful existence.
Beautiful.
So we celebrate our differences rather than let our differences divide us.
That is what I love to say. That line is celebrate our differences. And it's leaving the world of competition and going into a world of collaboration.
Exactly.
So it's really where we are all able to stand in our own elements. And it's beautiful. Thank you so much. So I do want to listen to Before Mountains. We're just, we only have a few minutes left. So I'll have to have you back on.
Yeah, so please listen to this song. It was beautifully done with the group. It's sung in Hebrew, Zulu, and English with the instrumental and their voices. So thank you, Annie, and for everything you're doing for women on behalf of the world.
Thank you so much. And in case we don't get back, how do people find you?
Rahelmusic.com is the best way. RAHEL music.com is a catch-all website. Rahel at rahelmusic.com is my email. You can find me.
Wow.
And I'm on my way to South Korea, hopefully to build another collaboration with a singer there. I pray for me that it's going to happen. We're going to bring the Africans and bring everybody there. So maybe you'll come too.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. So here we're going to listen. In a second, we're going to listen to the Before the Mountains, and I'm going to end off the show by thanking everybody for joining us on Spotlight and Women Radio. Next week on the show is the co-founder of the Association for Torah and the Arts, a singer, dancer, and actress, Miriam Gamliel. Thank you, Rahel, and here it is. Have a great day.
uNkulunkulu wadala izulu nomhlaba. Shwo.
B'terem harim yuladu v'tichol eretz v'tevel B'terem harim yuladu v'tichol eretz v'tevel u'me'olam ad olam atakel u'me'olam ad olam atakel u'me'olam ad olam atakel u'me'olam ad olam atakel. Before the mountains were born, before you set forth the earth and the inhabited world, Before the mountains were born, before you set forth the earth and the inhabited world, Umeolam Adolam Atakel,
umhlaba uyisiqalo nesiphetho,
Umeolam
adolam atakel, umeolam adolam atakel.
from world to world, from world to world,
From world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to world, from world to
כאן כל ישראל מירושלים, שלום רב, השעה 12, הנה החדשות מפי איריס לוי. טרור העפיפונים ליד חממות זיקים פרצה דלקה, צוות כיבוי פועל לכבות דלקה שפרצה גם בעין השלושה. השליח המיוחד של ממשל טראמפ למזרח התיכון, ג'ייסון גרינבלט, צייץ בטוויטר כי פגישתם של ראש הממשלה בנימין נתניהו ומלך ירדן עבדאללה אתמול חשובה מאוד לשתי המדינות ולאזור כולו. לדבריו הוא שמח מקיום הפגישה ומההתייחסות לסוגיות המרכזיות בפגישת שני האישים.